new event in Hockey Ultimate Team, as well as a new format that will allow us to make a 99 overall later on in the year. Let's get into it. So today, the Next Gen event was released. It is a 2-week event that featured 5 MSPs of some of the best young players in the NHL, as well as a whole slew of other cards that we can go out and make for young players that are in the league, including Pavel Mintyukov. But the biggest change to this event is that for every card that has the Calder Watch sticker, it will mean that they are eligible for a massive upgrade later on in the year. If any of the cards with the Calder Watch sticker are nominated for the Calder Trophy for the best rookie in the NHL, they will have all of their tiers up to 96 overall that will be unlocked, meaning that, for example, if Adam Fantilli gets a nominee for the Calder, he will be able to go from 87 to 96. On top of that, the Calder Trophy winner will have his tiers unlocked all the way to 99. Now, that is going to be significantly expensive. It will not give you those cards for free with their upgrades. You will need to pay for them, but it will unlock their upgrade tiers, so it will cost you an exponential amount of power-up collectibles, and it won't be until the NHL Awards, which would be sometime in June. So while it's still going to be very expensive, I do have to say I enjoy this new format because there has always been an issue where they release next-gen cards for players that don't have headshots in-game, like Adam Fantilli, for example, and they need to have master set art to put them in-game like this, that they kind of just get stuck at whatever overall they are. This is a unique way to at least allow them to remain viable later on in the year. So I will say I do enjoy that. I wish it was free. I mean, it's going to be June, but it's EA, so we can't expect everything to be given to us. Now, on top of that, remember, this is week 1. There will be a week 2. Connor Bedard will be in there, I am sure. I would have to guess that Logan Cooley, Leo Carlson, as well as maybe Kevin Korchinski. If they do 10 master set players in total, the other 2 are kind of out there in terms of who they're going to pick because of the week 1 options. But let's take a look at the week 1 cards. And remember, for any card that has the Calder Watch sticker, they are eligible to get the boost all the way to 96 and have their upgrade tiers unlocked. And then the winner will have all the way from 96 to 99 unlocked. So let's begin with the master set players. We'll start first with Buffalo's Devin Levi, 6 foot with speed boost and accelerator boost. He's got silver post to post and gold X-ray. I do love my Sabres, but unfortunately, if you play competitively or in Division 2 and above, or even really 3, it's going to be pretty tough to use Devin Levi simply because he's only 6 feet tall and his attributes aren't amazing. So unless you're a Sabre fan, this would be a pass for me. We also get the Seattle Kraken's Shane Wright, 6 foot 192 with playmaking, forward, and shooting boost. However, he's got 2 of the worst abilities in the game. Third Eye just really is not going to help you out much at all, and big tipper you don't really need. It is very cheap, and maybe every once in a while you get a tip shot that'll go in from this, but most often if you have a tip shot set up, it'll go in regardless. He's got 89 speed, 89 acceleration, 88 agility, very ho-hum, and he's not very big to make up for the fact that he doesn't have elite skating. His hand stats are okay as well, right around 90, and his face-offs are only 85, which kind of makes him a right-handed winger as opposed to a centerman. Body checking at 82. Just a very average card across the board. I don't think that he's going to be any better than, let's say, Alex Ovechkin from the Gallery of Greats event. Moving on to some of the more exciting ones. We've got the 87 Luke Hughes, 6 foot 2, 184 with offensive defenseman and agile dangler boost. Now, he's got tape to tape, which I really don't think is going to be necessary at all for you because, well, pass assist is back on in this game. Gold elite edges is impactful on a defenseman, but it's awfully tough to justify on any card that isn't really Cale Makar. If these were switched and you just had silver elite edges and didn't have to burn all your points on tape to tape, that might be a little bit better. But he's got 92 speed, 92 acceleration, 93 agility, and he's 6 foot 2, so he's got good reach. 84 defensive awareness is pretty low, but in all honesty, no defenseman's intercepting anything in this game. Only 80 body checking as well. Good hand stats, but it looks like a fun offensive card and one of the more exciting players in the NHL. Then we've got Minnesota's Brock Faber with 2-way defenseman and defensive boost. If you are able to get both of these activated, he gets his defensive awareness up to 99, which is impactful at this point in the game, as is his stick checking stat. He's got 85 body checking, 90 speed, 90 acceleration, 92 agility, and 90 balance. His shot is in the mid-80s, and so are his hand stats, but everything's really, really good on this card, and he's got gold stick 'em up. This is basically a better defensive version than Sergei Zubov's Team Builder card, and probably the best of the bunch from week 1. If there was any that you're going to make just right off the rip, probably Brock Faber. And then we've got the 87 Adam Fantilli, 6'2", 195. He's got power forward and speed boost as his option. Again, speed boost is pretty tough to activate activate unless you're just forcing it in your lineup and not really caring about who you're using. Fantilli, I think the one disappointing thing here is that, while again, much like Shane Wright, he doesn't have great skating. He's only 89 speed, 89 acceleration, 90 agility, which isn't awful, but it's not great. It's the fact that he's only got 84 faceoffs and no quick draw. So you really are going to have a hard time using him at center, in my opinion, especially if you're in the higher division. 85 body checking isn't bad, and he's 6'2". Unstoppable force is great. No complaints there. Close quarters has been not as effective as it has been in past years, but there is an argument for it to be used here. I am going to make Adam Fantilli because he is one of my favorite young players to watch right now. And again, I think that this event, more than any other event, is a simply make your favorite player, but you don't necessarily have to make anyone or wait for week 2. Now, before we take a look at the other event cards, here are the objectives for the week 1 next gen event. And I'm not going to lie, they're pretty rough. So in all, the major issue that I have with this is that, again, we get an event in which we're only getting 4 power-up collectibles. I think the one thing that EA should do is make sure that no matter what and no matter how long it takes, we should be able to earn a Master Set player from every event for free for the free-to-play players. It's something that I've really been trying to harp on them. And again, we're only getting 4 if you complete all of these objectives. And because it costs 6 to upgrade them, that means you've got to burn resources to make the other 2, which again kind of goes in with what I was saying, that I would only make it Master Sets from week 1 if they are among your favorite players. Now, you can earn quite a bit of the event cards for free. So again, just playing 15 games, you don't need any cards in your lineup. You will get a free 83 overall Matty Beniers. Scoring goals with any next-gen player item, 76, which is rough, will get you an 81 overall Stuart Skinner. 70 assists will get you the 86 Owen Power, which is actually kind of nasty for free-to-play players because he's actually not a bad card. We'll look at him in a second. Then you've got the complete games. And again, I'll show you the fastest way to do that. We've got the daily rewards for a collectible. Get assists with Devin Levi gets you a random next-gen player, a non-Master Set player. Hits with Brock Faber, 150, is an awful lot for a next-gen collectible. Get assists with Luke Hughes, 50 will get you a power-up collectible. This is pretty easy on rookie squad battles because if you just win the drawback and you can score off a breakaway pretty easily on rookie. And then we've got score goals with Adam Fantilli, 75 of them for a next-gen collectible. A next-gen collectible, guys, costs 3,500 coins to make. That means every goal you score with Adam Fantilli is going to be worth 46 coin. Brutal. And then 100 points with Shane Wright. Like I said, the objectives are pretty scuffed. Now, taking a look at Hut Rush, they have changed the point system again. They've lowered the objective points, but they've also far lowered the rewards. Essentially, if you do all of the objectives, you'll get 500,000 coins. And the big one here is that at 300,000 points, you will get an 80 overall Wyatt Johnson next-gen player, which again will help you towards those objectives, and you can get them for free and pretty quickly by getting 300,000 points. Now, if you keep going, you will get some more gold players and things like that at 1 million. For the love of God, please do not try and grind out 500,000 points worth of stuff in Hut Rush. Just do the objectives, take your Wyatt Johnson, and then move on. On to the event cards. Here is the 81 Wyatt Johnson with two-way forward. Again, this is just going to be an objective card to use. Stuart Skinner is up next. 6'4", 206. Again, no abilities or anything like that. So honestly, if you want to just use him as a backup goalie, that will help reduce the amount of games played because that counts towards the games played objective. Matthias Michelli gets playmaking forward, 87 speed, 86 acceleration. Agility's mediocre, so is pretty much everything else. So again, another objective card. Here's the 83 Matty Beniers at 6'2", 178 with two-way forward. Not bad for just playing 15 games. That's the first objective you can get. Now on to the other Calder Watch card. So again, if any of these players win the Calder, as long as they've got that Calder Watch sticker, if they get nominated or win the Calder, they will have all of their tiers unlocked. More than likely, Lucas Dostal is not winning, however. 6'2", 174, butterfly effect at tier 4. The one thing to keep a note about these cards is that you are essentially renting them. 10,000 coins gets to your tier 2, but it only costs 1 power-up collectible for tier 3 and tier 4, and you can just refund those whenever you're ready to move on. But again, just use Jacob Marks. Marco Rossi for the Minnesota Wild. They're well represented in week 1. Has tape to tape, but he has 88 speed, acceleration, and agility. He's only 5'9", however, so he will get bumped off the puck quite easily. Does have 84 body checking, which isn't too terrible. Connor Jari from the Calgary Flames also gets an 82 that can be upgraded. 87 speed, acceleration, 89 agility. A pretty sneaky good shot in the high 80s. Hand stats are also in the mid to high 80s. Faceoff's only 81, so again, there's just better options for you. Pavel Minchikov is the first real interesting one because as it stands right now, Minchikov has 3 points less than Connor Bedard, but he's a defenseman. And if he stays within 10 points of Connor Bedard, whether it's Hughes or Minchikov as defenseman, I don't care how popular Connor Bedard is. That would just be unbelievable for a D-man in his first year. So they actually have like a half-decent shot. I wouldn't put it at very high, but it's not completely out of the question. On top of that, at his 85, he's got 87 speed, 87 acceleration, and 90 agility. But also, with two-way defenseman activated, you can get him up to 89 defensive awareness, which isn't terrible either. So, all in all, not a bad card. Here is the 86 Owen Power, and like I mentioned, this is actually a pretty nasty card. He's 6'6", 218, so he's massive. He also has gold elite edges and silver seeing eye, which is kind of sneaky good. 86 speed is rough, but the fact that he can basically reach across the entire ice is huge. He's got 85 body checking, two-way defenseman, gets his defensive awareness up to 92. The fact that you get this one for free is probably the best part about this entire event. And then the faceless Matthew Knies. Now, for anyone wondering why he doesn't have a headshot, that is on the teams not sending their headshots into EA. There is a legality of using the cards and the players' imaging, and they need the teams to send in that artwork. So that is why this is one thing that is not on EA. It does suck, though, quite a bit. For all my Leaf fans out there, even at 85 overall, it's pretty tough to use him. He does have unstoppable force and 86 speed, but 85 acceleration. He's just going to skate like mud. And he doesn't have card art, which is brutal to me, but nonetheless, you can get a Matthew Knies card. Now, there are also some hut moments for the next-gen event. Again, much like the prior ones, you can earn a few players packs, nothing big. And then the final one is a next-gen collectible, so technically you could make an MSP for free. However, this is going to have you bring an entire lineup of next-gen players. You've got to score goals with any next-gen player, 5 of them, shoulder checks with a next-gen item, and win the game on Superstar, which isn't terrible, but the fact that you've got to bring your own means that you've got to grind at all those objectives first, technically for free, to come in here to win only a next-gen collectible. This should be a team that's already provided for you. I'm not really sure what they were doing with this. On to the next-gen sets. And again, this is a 2-week event. Unfortunately, when it comes to the trade-in, there isn't an 86 option yet. The highest you can go is still an 85. At some point, they're going to add an 86. However, it is very cheap still to make one of these. It is about 3,500 coins. So do the math again if you are going to make some of these collectibles. To make all of the MSPs, you're looking at under 20,000 coins if you want to get a jump start on doing some of those objectives. However, they also added in something here where you're able to get a week 1 random next-gen player item. This is all of the non-MSPs from week 1. It will only cost you a next-gen collectible item. So if you're trying to get, let's say, Pavel Minchikov or something like that, just go and take a look at the market and see if they're up for cheap, because they probably are. But again, the cost is only one collectible to get the 82 overall version of all the Master Set players, and there will be a week 2. So let me know what you think in the comments section down below. If you have any questions, let me know. Like I said, I do enjoy the new format for the event, but I think the way that it was executed is a little rough and still quite pricey. Excited to see what happens for week 2, however. But in the meantime, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you in the next video. Have a good one.